You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
Tuned in to the best, and that's no other than G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. I do want to apologize to the G5 Jeff TV family. It's a little under the weather, voice wasn't right, so I ain't dropped videos for a couple days, but your boy is back, and y'all got a boatload of videos coming. Now, in boxing, the best promoters, it's more of a trend now. The best promoters are having a hard time actually signing the best fighters or the popular fighters. And the question today is why? Because back in the day, you always seen all fighters with promoters. Some fighters may have beef with promoters and might have to sit out for a while, but you always seen a fighter linked to a promoter. And nowadays, you just see fighters really going in a different direction. They're really going in a different direction. And we're going to attack this question from all angles because it's definitely an ongoing issue in the sport of boxing. Now, we got to mention all of the heavy hitters that are promoters. Number one, Al Haymon. A lot of people say Al Haymon's not a promoter. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. The man is a promoter / manager / moneymaker / heavy hitter in boxing. You got Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. You have Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. You have Bob Arum and Top Rank. You also have Eddie Hearn. And you also have Frank Warren. Those are the biggest promoters, the biggest heavy hitters that are out there in the sport of boxing. Now, it's crazy because you would think those guys that have that type of cachet should have no problem bringing in the top guys to their promotional company. And I'm going to go promoter by promoter and basically talk about the problems that they've been having as promoters. Let's start off with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. They can't sign anybody. He's been trying to sign Earl Spence. He's been trying to sign Deontay Wilder. He's been going after several people in Al Haymon's stable, and he can't get anybody to commit, can't get anybody to sign. And Oscar De La Hoya is one of the most popular fighters of all time. And Oscar De La Hoya also has the cash cow in Canelo Alvarez. Now, why is Oscar De La Hoya having trouble signing fighters? The answer for this one is a little easier than other promoters, but I'm going to get into it. When a fighter signs on with a promoter, they are trusting that promoter with their career, basically. And all of this talk about the promoter works for the fighter, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Like, that's casual fan thinking. Because if that was the case, fighters wouldn't be able to be, blackballed or freezed out of, fights in certain situations. The fighter works for the promoter. Bottom line, point blank, period. So a fighter is trusting a promoter with their career. And I was always taught growing up, you can't take care of somebody else when you can't take care of yourself. And I don't know Oscar De La Hoya personally. He might be a great guy personally. And I'm not one of these guys that's going to make fun of what he went through in the past. But what I will say is that from the outside looking in, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't look like the person that you can trust your career with. If I was a fighter, I wouldn't trust my career with Oscar De La Hoya because it doesn't seem like he has his own life under control. And I don't have to rehash on what Oscar De La Hoya has gone through in the past. There's also the situation where he had one of his employees, I think it was a writer, made some statements in regards to African Americans. And Oscar De La Hoya and his company never went out of their way to address that situation and correct it. That's another issue. And also with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, it's a situation where when he started Golden Boy Promotions, he had Bernard Hopkins and Shane Mosley within the camp. And they were supposed to be the ones that were supposed to bring in basically the African American fighter, the black fighter, the urban fighter. And it just never worked out in that sense. It never worked out. So Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya is going to continue to have issues picking up fighters because Oscar De La Hoya doesn't have the greatest image personally. And you can't expect loyalty in a person to trust you when, in a sense, Oscar De La Hoya in some ways probably doesn't even trust himself. So that's Golden Boy. So we're going to keep it moving and we're going to keep it pushing to Floyd Money Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. Now, Floyd Mayweather has tried to sign all different types of people, and it hasn't worked for him. He went to the Olympics. He tried to sign Shakur Stevenson. He decided not to sign with Floyd Mayweather, and he signed with Jay Prince, Andre Ward, and Top Rank. He tried to sign Devin Haney. That didn't work out. No big-time fighters are willing to go to Floyd Money Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. If you look at Mayweather Promotions, the biggest fighters they have is Badu Jack and Gervonta Tank Davis. And with that being said, there's several fighters within the Floyd Mayweather camp that has problems with Mayweather Promotions, from Gervonta Davis to a host of other fighters, Mickey Bay. There's probably about 7 or 8 guys that have come out in the media or in the public complaining about Mayweather Promotions. Ashley Theophane, he left. There's a lot of internal issues with Floyd Money Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. And the reason why the big time fighters doesn't want to sign with Mayweather Promotions is because they don't want any of their limelight taken away. Floyd Mayweather already casts a big shadow over boxing because he's so big. He's the greatest self-promoter, maybe outside of Muhammad Ali, of all time. And guys that are stars don't want to sign on to Mayweather Promotions, and then they have to hear questions about Floyd Mayweather all the time. They want to create their own path. And with Floyd Mayweather, it's a gift and a curse, because his main objective, his main motive, his main message when he was a fighter was, you don't need a promoter. You should be independent. You should bet on yourself. You just get somebody like Al Heyman in your corner and you run your own show. That was his main message after he departed from Top Rank. So now the fact that people listen to Floyd Mayweather, the people that, take everything Floyd Mayweather says as facts, the fighters that look up to Floyd Mayweather because he is the most successful boxer of all time financially, now his own words is coming back to haunt him. The reason why he can't sign a lot of these fighters is because they've listened to his message saying that you do not need a promoter. So his own words has been a gift and a curse against his company and Mayweather Promotions. And Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions is going to continue to have issues with signing fighters because, yes, Floyd Mayweather is top 5 all time in terms of, I would say, popularity, but his own popularity overshadows the company. And no big time fighter wants to deal with that. No up and coming fighter wants to deal with that. So there's always going to be a fight between, do I take the opportunities that Mayweather can give me, or do I take a chance and bet on myself like Floyd Mayweather expressed that I should do and be independent? That's Floyd Money Mayweather. Now, Bob Arum, Top Rank. Now, they have some guys under their staple, but Bob Arum just, he's lost a couple of fighters. He had Mikey Garcia, lost him. He had Miguel Cotto, lost him. Had Manny Pacquiao for a very long time, lost him. And Bob Arum and Top Rank. Bob Arum is a gangster with the paperwork. Like, his contracts be like bulletproof solid. Like anybody that he promotes, anybody that's under his banner, it is extremely difficult for them to get out of the contract. They either got to buy themselves out of the contract or they gonna have to wait the contract out. And with Bob Arum and Top Rank having that happen with a lot of different fighters are hesitant to sign with Top Rank. I think Bob Arum and Top Rank is the best in the business in terms of building young fighters, matchmaking, things of that nature. They have 2 of the top pound for pound guys in the world in Terrence Bud Crawford and Vasyl Lomachenko. But there's just, all from the outside looking in, I don't know Bob Arum, but from the outside looking in, people think that Bob Arum plays the game a little shady. If you on his good side, things is going great. If you on his bad side, you gonna go to that paperwork. You gonna go to the contract that he signed. So Top Rank and Bob Arum they're gonna have difficulty as well signing fighters for that very reason. And you go to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn might be the biggest promoter in boxing. He may be the biggest promoter in boxing. He has tried to sign a bunch of different people. He wanted to sign Deontay Wilder. He wanted to sign Earl Spence Jr. A bunch of guys from the Al Haymon stable for his DAZN deal, where it could go up to $1 billion. And Eddie Hearn is having difficulty getting fighters strictly because he's a UK promoter trying to tap into a US market. And the guys that he's trying to get are the Al Haymon guys. And for his DAZN deal, he's trying to sign all of these Al Haymon fighters. What Eddie Hearn needs to do is actually sign Al Haymon and break him off a piece of the pie in regards to the DAZN deal so he can get some of those Al Haymon fighters. Now, Eddie Hearn is trying to get the Al Haymon fighters because none of them have promotional deals. None of them have promoters. So he thinks that he can come in and scoop those guys up. He tried to sign the Charlos and a bunch of other fighters. But see, people make it seem like Al Haymon is running some type of, extravagant business scheme. It's not an extravagant business scheme. His whole thing is for all of his guys to be managed by him, he takes about 10% of about 100 people, which makes him filthy rich, and not be locked down to a promoter. His setup is no different than if you in the workforce, right? If you in the workforce, you have something called temp agencies or staffing agencies where you go fill out an application with them. You become a part of the temp agency or the staffing agency, and they send you out on different jobs and all of that. And if a person works at a job under the temp agency for 6 months and that company actually wants to hire you, they have to pay off the staffing agency to release you so they can hire you full time. That's all this is. Like, Al Heyman is a staffing agency. He's a temp agency. He has all of these people all under his company. In order for you to get to his people, you got to go through him first. So no matter how you slice it, Al Heyman is going to eat. That's his business setup. And Eddie Hearn is going to continue to have issues signing guys, because whenever you bringing out something new, whenever you want to roll out something new, top guys don't want to be the guinea pigs. They don't want to be the first guys testing it. So Eddie Hearn is going to have issues as well. And Frank Warren, he's just going to have issues just because he's going back and forth and battling with Eddie Hearn out there in the UK. And Frank Warren got a nice staple of fighters as well. He got a nice staple of fighters. You know, he has Tyson Fury with a host of other guys. And I mention all of these promoters because in this day and age, we're talking fighters are more educated than ever. They understand the business side more than any other generation of fighters. And these fighters are looking out for self. They're looking out for themselves. They're looking out for their health. They're looking out for their families. They're looking out for themselves financially. And they're trying to put themselves in the best financial situation, period. But you have the success of Oscar De La Hoya. You have the success of Floyd Money Mayweather, where they were in a lot of ways independent and made their mark. Like, they lived the dream as a fighter. And they promoted that dream as fighters. But the thing that they also did was they diminished the role of the promoter. And now they are the promoters, and they're trying to reverse what they stated in the past. But it's too late. It's too late. Oscar De La Hoya tried to sign Earl Spence. Floyd Mayweather tried to sign Earl Spence. Earl Spence said, I don't need no promoter. I'm getting everything that I want through my own company and Al Heyman. He's a prime example. It's a prime example. These fighters now are starting their own promotional companies, and they're just linking up with guys like Al Heyman and just power brokers that's going to put them in the best positions to succeed as businessmen. Not only fighters, but businessmen. So a lot of these guys that has had success in the past are starting to get bit in the ass by their own message that you do not need a promoter. A lot of these guys will be better off being power brokers, kind of like an Al Heyman, and just play in the background instead of having an actual promotional company, especially with Floyd Money Mayweather. He could definitely play that Al Heyman type role and not have a promotional company. I actually think he would be better off if he was just a manager. If Floyd Mayweather was just a manager and just played the background like Al Heyman, he would have much more success than what he's having as Mayweather Promotions, because Mayweather Promotions is not a good promotional company. It's not a good promotional company at all. And he has good intentions. He gives a lot of people opportunities to succeed. But Floyd Mayweather as a person gets in the way as Floyd Mayweather, the promoter, because he has to be the number one guy. He has to be in the spotlight. He has to be, quote unquote, the man. When he tries to promote a fight, he ends up promoting himself more so than the actual fight. These young and upcoming fighters and fighters that's already been in the game, they see all of this. They see all of this. So even though the promoters, they doing their thing, but they're really having a hard time signing the marquee guys strictly because these fighters nowadays are just more educated and they're more about independence, and the promoter role has been diminished by these very promoters now, and Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, and others. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.